time, huh?
It's Halloween, the greatest time of the year, so I might as well go back to the well once more and talk about Power Rangers. Power Rangers had quite a few Halloween episodes, but we're specifically going to stick with the Mighty Morphin era. With the research I've done, I've found at least 4 Power Ranger Halloween episodes, one being kind of just a throwaway episode where it's just Zed in his castle on the moon, you know, reminiscing all the monsters from his time frame and from Rita's time frame, and then they have like this big Halloween party.
Yes, we send our monsters down to infiltrate their party.
No, you fool! We throw our own party!
Do we get to dress up? I've always wanted to be Little Bo Peep.
Silence, fools!
There's a couple things from the basically flashback episode. It cut me off guard and it's kind of funny, and one of them is this song that they're playing.
Treat or trick, too much candy makes you sick. Treat or trick, too much candy makes you sick.
Obviously just the same footage they filmed when they made the wedding episode between Zed and Rita. So we're just going to brush over that and just talk about the other 3. And it's funny because they even leave in the Goldar scene where he's in disbelief that Rita and Zed's getting married.
No, I can't believe this.
But they left it in. I mean, I guess they didn't bother cutting that. Kids ain't going to notice any different. What else is kind of neat is, I guess technically this is season 3 at this point, but they have to put Zach, Trini, and Jason in the credits because they're showing old footage with their voices in it. More than likely, they probably didn't get paid for that. But moving along, we're going to jump straight into the very first Power Ranger Halloween episode.
After 10,000 years, I'm free. It's time to conquer Earth.
Episode 25 of the first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is titled Life's a Masquerade. It is the beginning of the 2-episode Super Putty story arc. The plot is the Rangers are helping decorate the youth center for a Halloween costume party. Zach helps Jason hang streamers but gets distracted by Angela. Bulk and Skull are roped into helping, but it quickly ends with a paint can being launched onto Bulk's head.
Stupid stapler! What's wrong with this thing?
Now on to Rita's castle. Finster announces that the Super Putty is ready, and Rita requests the monster to distract the Rangers. Finster creates a Frankenstein monster, which is sent to Angel Grove.
I want you to destroy the Power Rangers. Can you do it?
I can!
Good. Then get them.
What I really wanted to talk about, and the whole reason they even made this entire video, was this Frankenstein monster. So this is episode 25, and we're introduced to the Frankenstein monster, and just like all the other monsters in Power Rangers, they usually beat them the same episode or the next episode, but in this case it was episode 25. They actually destroy the Frankenstein monster. When you go to episode 26, you see him again. He's just chilling in the background, which is obviously from the Zoo Ranger footage. He must have been somewhat of, I don't know the story, he must have been somewhat of a side character for a little while. If anybody knows, please let me know, because I need to watch The Ranger. I haven't got to watch it all. It was just funny to me. Rewatching it, and I'm just like, okay, Frankenstein Monster is suddenly back, even though he died the episode before it.
I need an excellent costume to win that contest. And you're gonna find me one. You got it, bulky boy.
It's a fun little episode if you've never seen it before. If you're a fan of Power Rangers, you probably enjoy it. If you've never watched Power Rangers, it's probably too cheesy to watch as an adult. I say that a lot. But in this episode, we get to see Alpha 5 actually out in public. And for some reason, Tommy, even after fighting the monster, even after the monster had partially destroyed some of the city, I'm going to be the Frankenstein monster. Another Halloween episode comes in the same season, season 1, on episode 54. This is a different time. I mean, nowadays it's like you might get 12 episodes to a season. Season 1 of Power Rangers had 60 episodes. 60 episodes for one season. Anyway, the plot to this episode is Kimberly boasts to Trini and Tommy that she is going to be competing on Trick or Treat, the most popular game show in the country.
Isn't that like the most popular game show in America?
And possibly win a new car. However, her opponent just happens to be Skull, whom Bulk claims is going to be unbeatable. And this is the episode where we get the rapping pumpkin, one of my favorite monsters that they've ever made. Mostly because it's just silly.
Alright, go! Alright! Go! Hi, Mom.
While the other Rangers are cheering for Kimberly on the game show Trick or Treat, Tommy, who couldn't go to the show due to having previously signed up for a karate tournament, stumbles onto a pumpkin patch full of rotten pumpkins in the park. Rita panics and has Putty sent down to fight Tommy. That way he doesn't find her monster that she's growing. And you'll see this a lot in the show, where Tommy's off doing something else, and they had to do a lot of this because a lot of the Green Ranger footage, there just wasn't as much. Because, you know, the Green Ranger and Zoo Ranger, spoiler alert, he actually dies in that show. So from the point where he started on Zoo Ranger to the point that he died, there's not that much footage compared to the other Rangers. So Tommy's usually off doing something else. Anyways, we get an awesome fight scene between Tommy and Putties. And at this point in the episode, Kimberly is like 1 point away from winning. However, the other Rangers gesture to Kimberly that Zordon is calling, and she's forced to fake a fainting spell in order to be taken off the set.
I don't feel so good.
The stage lights were too much for her. She seems to have experienced a slight cardiac infarction.
She what?
Fainted.
Making Skull the winner by default. Once they arrive at the command center, Zordon fills them in on the situation. They check out the pumpkin patch, and I guess the pumpkins are going to suffocate them. I'm not really sure. But they find themselves with pumpkins stuck on their head.
I'll get you out of there.
I can't see!
Stand still for a second.
Thanks! I can breathe again.
Oh, you Rangers make me mad! Waking me up with a rap that bad!
Remember, it's time for us to beat you.
Well, you think that's something you can do? Well, I got some friends who'd like to meet you. Attack now! Get 'em!
So of course the Power Rangers need Tommy. I don't know how they survived without him before. So we have to interrupt him, just like we interrupted Kimberly winning a car. Honestly don't know how the Rangers survived their teenage years. How did they even go to school? How did they keep good grades?
Alright, guys, do it! Right, time for Mega Blaster power now!
Wait, it was that easy? Why didn't they do that from the get-go?
Hey, babe. Want to take a ride in my brand new car?
Our brand new car, Pinhead.
Dream on, Skull.
So in Bulk and Skull fashion, of course they get busted for cheating. And end up losing the car. So, happy ending. And the last episode I want to talk about is Zed's Monster Mash. And this is episode 21 of the second season. And this is right around the time that the original Black Ranger, Yellow Ranger, Red Ranger left the show. I feel like everybody already knows this. We're getting these weird scenes where they're talking about peace conference. I mean, how long does a peace conference actually last? But it's all just Billy, Kimberly, and Tommy. And even as a kid, I kind of remember these being kind of strange. Why is they just showing these three? And I guess what they're doing is kind of building it up that they're going to be leaving. Kind of getting their little kid brains to comprehend what could happen.
Yeah, I can't help thinking about the upcoming peace conference.
I know. Can you imagine if you were chosen to go around the world talking to kids about world unity? That would be so incredible.
It is quite exciting, isn't it? But, what would happen to our Power Ranger team?
Anyway, what's going on is they're at the youth center and they're signing up young children to be chaperoned to go trick-or-treating. Tommy also arrives and Ernie assures them nothing can go wrong. So of course, everything is going to go wrong. However, Lord Zed is watching the scene and tells Goldar, Squat, and Babu that he intends to throw a party of their own with the White Ranger as a guest of honor.
Little kids and me don't mix.
Bunk, I wouldn't do that. Those are Red Hots.
So Zed sends down a group of putties disguised as children-sized Power Rangers, and Tommy ends up chaperoning them. And Goldar confronts Tommy, and the putties revert to their true form. After a short fight, Goldar transports Tommy to the Dark Dimension, where he is sealed by Key Monster. Tommy attempts to morph, but is attacked by Doomstone, Pumpkin Rapper's back again, and Robo-Goat, who take his morpher.
Thought we turned you into squash, Pumpkin Rapper.
Maybe you did, but it's time to get sad, cause the Lord Zed's power, we're back and we're bad! Hey, don't play, he's getting away!
This episode just didn't have the same pizzazz as the first two did. And I want to say it's because there's no Zach, Jason, and Trini, and we're just pretending that they're there. I feel like that has a little bit to do with it. You know, Billy and Kimberly, they help Tommy. Tommy morphs, and we just go into the same formula for almost every episode where we fight a monster. But in this case, it's a lot of cutting and faraway fights. Like the new Megazord is in one scene, and in the other scene, it's the monster from Rita Repulsa era. So it's a lot of splicing here. And maybe that took me out of the episode.
Time for you to head back to the pumpkin patch.
That's pretty much all I wanted to say. I just kind of wanted to go over some of the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Halloween episodes. Definitely the first two, in Power Ranger form, are pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of the Monster Mash episode and the weird flashback episode. But hope you all have a happy Halloween, and I'll catch you guys next time.
I feel sick.
What's the matter? Did you eat too much? Want some more candy?